gentlemen. So it is going to be something pretty awesome to see because both these guys are very interesting arm wrestlers in their own rights and own respect. So as I wait for you guys to come in, we've got a few new features that we're going to attempt to share with you guys today. I look forward to showing you those as they come through. But ladies and gentlemen, first of all, make sure you please do vote in the YouTube poll. If you're watching on YouTube, there should be a poll for you guys there, and I'll check the votes as they come in. Early days votes are 56%, looking like Larry takes it. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're on Facebook, I do apologize, you won't be able to vote in that poll, but it is going to be an awesome event. King of the Table 3, as I said, April 3rd. We're only 3.5 days away from this one happening in Dubai. Larry Wheels, he's hunting his first ever super match victory. Of course, standing in his way is the grip monster, the soon-to-be MMA monster. Well, maybe you already do consider him an MMA monster, but the all-round killer athlete that is Khaled Jashell. It is going to be an absolutely great match. So, guys, I wanted to invite you all to comment in this section. All the highlighted comments, I will be bringing them up on the screen as well. So if you got something particularly juicy to add, let me know in the comment section, and I will throw that up as a featured comment. But, ladies and gentlemen, Larry Wheels v. Khaled Jashell. It's a really important match for Larry, first and foremost. I don't think this match means anywhere near as much to Khaled. He's not as he just doesn't care about arm wrestling, but he's a badass at it. If we're going to get to see a bit of a summary of Khaled's arm wrestling shortly, so stick around for that. But he is a genuine badass. He's a freak of nature in terms of genetic potential. He's right up there. Of course, we all remember it was about 12 months ago that Khaled really hit the scene when Devin Larratt traveled to Dubai and met Khaled whilst training with Larry, and it was absolutely he was absolutely astonished about what he felt. He very quickly said to the arm wrestling world, watch this guy, and we saw so much go on from there with Khaled demonstrating grip, world record prowess just in his first go. We saw him pulling Schoolboy, we saw him pulling Michael Todd, we saw him pulling a whole lot of people and looking particularly badass. Yeah, it's going to be brutal. Let's have a look. So Varley says straight up the bat, I want Larry, but I think Khaled will be too strong. He thinks Khaled will be too strong. A lot of people do. As we got a super chat straight in off the bat from Everett Duncan. Says, what up, Blue? Well, what up, Everett Duncan? Thank you very much for the super chat, brother. I appreciate that, man. This is going to be an awesome, awesome match. Now, I agree with this comment right here. Have a look at what Albuquerque Arm Wrestling says, is Khaled has a crazy hand. He absolutely has a crazy hand. If we look at the size of Khaled's hand, it's significantly bigger than the average arm wrestlers. It's broad. He's got long fingers. He has the forearm mass to back it up. When we saw Schoolboy pulling with him, and Schoolboy really struggled to slip, that was a great demonstration of the potential problem that opponents can have when they face someone like Khaled. So it is going to be an awesome match. I think that there's been one interesting development. If you've been watching Pradeep Singh on Arm Wrestling News, he alluded to the fact that there has been a change in the rules for King of the Table. So much to the effect that apparently, I don't think there's going to be an auto strap rule after 30 seconds. The RVJs of the world will be cheering. He'll probably be brave enough to come and face me at King of the Table 4 now. But that makes it very tricky if that is the case, which is yet to be confirmed. But that's the whispers on the wind, is that is the case. That will really significantly change the potential outcome and the result. Because as we know, Larry, far more comfortable in the straps than he is outside of the straps. Everett Duncan comes in with another super chat. $5 US super chat. He says, I'm not done. Technique has to go to Larry, right? Training recreationally with top guys at least and more table experience. Absolutely, Everett. I do 100% agree with you that Larry has the better all-round technique. Having said that, Khaled has amazing instincts. He really is somebody who transitions to the shoulder press very well. Larry doesn't have a shoulder press like that of Khaled's. Khaled instinctively holds on at the right time. When you're scaling or scoring someone on a intuition level, I put Khaled right up there. For given how little he has actually done in the form of professional, dedicated training for arm wrestling or competition arm wrestling, I would say that Khaled is incredibly capable. But I do agree with you. Larry Wheels has better technique. He has spent more time dedicated to the sport of arm wrestling. He's spent so much time with arm wrestlers that are professionals. He spent time with Devin Larratt, Coach Ray, Michael Todd, Levan Saganishvili, Rakli Zarakishvili. There's been no shortage of awesome arm wrestlers that he has spent time with, and he has subsequently developed a great awareness. He's very hungry for progress. He's very hungry to become the best arm wrestler he can be. He wants to be in arm wrestling for his entire life. He loves the longevity of the sport. He obviously enjoys the camaraderie of the community and all those sorts of things. And he is looking for his path. And at the moment, I give him the edge on technique. I give him the edge on the setup. And really, at the end of the day, the setup could be really critical. But like I said, if this strap rule is the case, it is going to be really important that Larry Wheels finds a way to the strap. Now, is that possible? Can Larry even get to the straps against this monstrous hand of Khaled Jashell? I don't know. But thank you once again, Everett Duncan, for that super chat. You're the man, brother. And Ben Young comes in with a cheeky super chat. Says, Ryan, could you beat Khaled? Well, man, look, I'm certain I could beat Khaled in the strap because I'd be able to force a hook and it'd be no worries. But could I defeat Khaled outside of straps? Or could I even slip? I think I'd have to be very creative, very fast, and confuse him in the way I slip. A lot of outside pressure to a sudden underhand slip. I'm not sure if Larry has that speed and all those sorts of things. I think I'd get to the strap, so I think I could get it done. But respect to Khaled. The man is clearly a beast. He's a very large human. He has world elite level hand strength, and he's just instinctive and capable. But it's something that I'd love to find out. Maybe I'll get to grip up with him when I do get to Dubai and King of the Table 4. But Ben Young, thank you for the super chat. I'd love to find out, brother. So this match, like I said, it's so much dependent on the strap. If we think about what Larry is up against when he is considering this match, when he's working out how on earth he's going to get to the strap, if we're talking just back pressure, if we're talking rising and rolling back pressure, Larry isn't known for having particularly a dangerous top roll. And if we look at Schoolboy, the footage of Schoolboy, which I will show you very shortly, if we look at the footage of Schoolboy, there was struggle for Schoolboy to slip against Khaled. There's struggle for Michael Todd to slip against Khaled. Given that, I am worried that that Larry Wheels will struggle. Now, Khaled has gone out as far as saying that he doesn't even need to train for this match. He doesn't need to train for this match, apparently. 56% of you guys think that Larry will win. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you very clearly, if this match does not go to straps, Larry cannot win. He cannot win this if it doesn't go to straps. Larry must get the straps. I hope someone is coaching Larry how to get the straps, because if he doesn't, oh my goodness, he is in trouble. Damien George, thank you, brother, for that support. By the way, the quality and the production, we're stepping up. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we do step up the production value, I want to invite you all to watch something. I've done a bit of a summary of the pulling ability of Khaled Jashell. So for the next sort of 3.5 minutes, buckle up and have a look at a summary of the pulling of Khaled Jashell, and then we will get back to it. All right, here we go. All right, so let's have a look at Khaled's track record on the table. You can see here, this is a video compilation from Larry Wheels' channel where we see Khaled in a number of different situations. Now, the early days Khaled, as we see him here, the first time we noticed him as an arm wrestling world was this video here where he was training and pulling with Devin Larratt, and Devin Larratt was immensely impressed. You can see May 28th in 2021 is coming up as well against Schoolboy. Then you'll see some Michael Todd action. There's a whole heap of stuff coming, but you can see Devin Larratt is really impressed. The same day, you can see him having a ready go with Larry, somewhat with Devin in control of the refereeing, and you can just see the hand size of Khaled. You can see the forearm mass that he possesses. Now, despite Larry somewhat getting a pin there with a Zobo it doesn't really matter, just showing you his potential. Now, as he wakes up to this sport, you start to see him look particularly dominant against everyone. And we call Khaled, a non-arm wrestler. He has immense grip strength. He has an enormous hand, and physically, he's quite strong. You see Larry getting his revenge on left. Interesting pull here against Schoolboy. You can see the hand control from Khaled is just immense. Schoolboy finding it very difficult to slip. Khaled holding onto the thumb. He has all the instinctive, correct pressures to transition into a press, to get his shoulder lines set. Very, very sound instincts for someone who isn't actively pursuing this sport. You can see Khaled here once again against Schoolboy. Now, this was somewhat of a casual super match, but nevertheless, it was a match that was won by Khaled. And you can see Schoolboy impressed by the strength there of Khaled. So, looking now against Michael Todd. Now, this was a time where Michael Todd was spending a couple of months in Dubai, so he was working hard, he was training, but nevertheless, have a look at the way Khaled controls the pronator of Michael. Even outside of straps, it's quite difficult for Michael to even slip. I'm sure he can slip, but you can see Khaled doesn't let go. Now, once in the straps, look at the hand control of Khaled. Michael's pronator is contained, Michael's wrist is going back. He's doing to Michael in this training practice what so many arm wrestlers are unable to do. What only people like Vic Vinia has done recently. Khaled very much demonstrating that he has the hand power. And then once again, that transition to press is there if he needs it. Really interesting stuff. And then up against Kyle Hutchinson, who is Britain's 100 kilo plus, I think, champion right and left. And then finally against Lavan Saganishvili, obviously biting off a little too much to be able to get anything. You can see the dominance from Lavan and the acknowledgement from there. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. So a bit of a summary there of Khaled Jashell's arm wrestling to date. All of it essentially in the practice environment. Very few genuine ready goes in his repertoire. But as you can see, he is an absolute killer. His hand is very dominant. He impresses everyone that he touches. And if he can make this arm wrestle against Larry Wheels about that, then Larry is in trouble. People think that a couple of people are saying, or Al Smith says that Khaled is going to foul so much. It is one interesting point that Khaled perhaps doesn't have the experience of competition. He perhaps will get frustrated with the referee and not understand what the referee is asking him to do. His lack of competition experience may come to be a factor. He may not like going to the ref script. He may not understand the running foul system. Like, instincts might be off. He did very much clearly say, and thank you for the comment, Al Smith, he did very much say that he doesn't even need to train to beat Larry Wheels. He declared that, and Larry mentioned that in his video recently. Look, this one here. I don't feel it. Slow TV Missouri says, I just want to see Larry Wheels win this. We all feel that way. We all feel like Larry Wheels needs to get a win on the board. And there's a part of me that thinks that Larry chose this match because he believes he can do it. He believes he's got Khaled's measure. But I have a feeling that again, when we come back to the strap issue, I have a feeling that Larry made that comment or thought or belief in himself when the auto strap rule was still something that was happening. Now that the auto strap rule is somewhat gone, or that's the rumor on the street. Anyway, it's not confirmed yet. Larry Wheels may be in trouble. So I don't know if it's going to be confirmed, but we're going to find out. It's only 3 days away. Now, this match for Khaled, like I said, he is somebody, if we talk about the style, the technique of where this match is going to go, we can see there, he's got great instincts. He's got an enormous hand. He'll take a deep grip, and he's just going to bend his wrist. He's just going to sit there and say, okay, Larry, what now? If Larry tries to top roll, Larry is going to struggle to get high because the big fingers of Khaled Jashell are just going to drag back, and they're just going to be too much. They're going to swallow him up like they do everybody, and he's just going to ride it out, happily wait there for Larry to try, and he'll fail, and his hand will go, and then he'll pin him. That's what's going to go on. Now, Larry needs to know how to underhand slip. Now, Larry, if you're watching, which I reckon you are, Larry, you might not be live, but Larry will watch this one, I reckon. Larry, I know you got a lot of coaches, Larry, but honestly, if you're going to get the straps, you got to do it like this. You have to create genuine threat somewhere and then go the exact opposite direction lightning fast. Now, I don't know if Larry can bend his wrist back, if he has a really stiff hand, or if he can really scoop under quickly. But genuine loaded threat as high as you can, you have two options to slip then. If you post hard and try to earn the slip through force, you will not get it, you will lose. If you post hard and you create genuine threat, then all of a sudden you've got two choices, the outside or the inside. The outside slip looks like this, where you just suddenly release your riser and pronate down. You pronate down, Larry. So high grip, genuine threat. It gets contained by Khaled. Even if he's only using 70% to contain it, you need to convince him that that's where you're going. So he puts all those eggs in that basket and then pronating down. Okay, that'll get you a slip. Devin Larratt does that a lot. The other one, Larry, same deal. Big back pressure. Use all that bicep strength you got. Maximize your wrist, and then let your fingers entirely go and flop press at him. Literally go like not towards victory, but flop press almost down at the table, like you're slapping the table. If you do that, Larry, you'll get the straps. I don't know if Larry's got the instincts to do that. I hope he does, because I want to see the match get the straps. I want to see Larry take a couple of rounds in the straps, and then I want to see Khaled Jashell try to work out how on earth he stops Larry from getting the straps. Al Smith asked the question. Al's back in. He killed a comment today. Ryan, do you think Larry's cupping will be way too much for Khaled? Absolutely not, Al Smith. I think Khaled's cupping out of straps will be way too much for Larry's. Larry might have wrist flexion, but what Larry lacks in comparison to Khaled is finger flexion. The length of the fingers of Khaled and combined with his wrist flexion is a much more significant overall force. The consuming nature of Khaled will drag and win the back pressure battle. That even if Larry's wrist flexion is strong enough that it gets in, what's going to happen is Larry's going to end up in. But here, Larry is in a very difficult position when it comes to the outer straps. In the straps, it does support him. It supports his pronation, supports his hand. I think Larry becomes the favorite if this is in the straps. I'm just so worried that Larry is not going to be able to get to the straps and he's going to have no idea how to do it. But thank you, Al Smith, for that question. Mirza says, perfect demonstration by Ryan of how Larry can actually win. Look, Mirza, I really do believe it. I know Larry's got a lot of people in his corner. There's a lot of people giving you advice. But given how critical the straps are, I really do believe that is the way to do it. Khaled is super confident that this one is going to be an easy win for him. He thinks he's going to 6-0 Larry. He thinks he's going to keep Larry on that losing record. Now, if that is the case, I feel for Larry already. I really do. I'm worried for him that he's going to struggle. Apparently, I'm just seeing word here. $5 Shake says Khaled benched 335 pounds, his first time ever lift. Here's one thing about Khaled. It always seems to be that it's his first time doing everything. I think what that translates to for us is that Khaled is good at everything and he doesn't necessarily focus on anything. When he says it's his first time, when he says he's never arm wrestled before, he's never cared about arm wrestling before. That's what I think it translates to. He's arm wrestled before, but he's never cared about it to dedicate himself to it. I don't believe he's dedicated himself in any real significant way for the preparation of this match. And Larry Wheels subsequently is going to be up against it. If Larry Wheels loses this match, it's going to hurt. It's going to really hurt. So I'm going to check on the poll now. Right now, after 179 votes, and guys, if you haven't voted already, please do vote. After 181 votes, 51% of you are saying Larry. I want to know why. Comment below, please. Comment below why Larry wins. Just explain it to me. I want to know, why is Larry the favorite? I get it. He's technically pretty good. He's got all the right people in his corner, but why do you think Larry wins? If you're in that 51%, let me know. And guys, whilst I've got you here, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all those sorts of good stuff. Okay, so Seth Ferguson says it's because Larry has more table time. I do agree he has more table time. John Boy says it's because he's more likable. Well, he's got the fans, that's for sure. Larry's bicep strength, says Al Smith. There's one reason I'm waiting for. Well, here we go. Is this? Oh, this is a comment about what do we got? Here we go. Larry will win because he will pay Khaled to lose. What else? Larry Bastard. He needs this win, and he has just enough super match experience to do it. Keep him coming. There we go. There's the one I was looking for from Tom Jules Seth. His connection is there. Okay, Tom, thank you for bringing up this point. Now, this point here, ladies and gentlemen, is an interesting point. Neither of these two gentlemen, I think, have the connective tissue development of an elite arm wrestler. They haven't done the time in the sport. Larry's a year and a half to 2 years in. Khaled is not in. He hasn't spent any time deliberately conditioning his elbow. He deliberately conditioning the joints for arm wrestling. Now, Larry, even though he is not someone who is what I would say conditioned to an elite level or even a pro level, he is more conditioned. He has had significantly more table time than his opponent, Khaled. And because of that, he has the potential edge to use that advantage of connective tissue. Now, when you have the advantage in connective tissue strength or conditioning, sorry, we're not talking strength here, guys. Just try to, again, understand. We're not talking strength. We're talking connective tissue conditioning. When you have the connective tissue conditioning superior to that of your opponent, you can take center. You can take center. When Devin Larratt describes this sport as a bone sport, sometimes when we're coming forward like this and we're trying to bully for center and we're trying to bully for what's going on and we're trying to take control of whose bones stand up better. I actually think that it's more about whose connective tissue in the elbow stands up better. That for me is the weakest link when we're doing that. Although humeruses do break and things like that, we're talking again about arm wrestlers that are aware somewhat, and the elbow is what allows you to pull from center. Now, if Larry can seize center in the setup, Larry, another gem for you here. If Larry can seize center in the setup, out of straps, he might be able to win out of straps. He might not even need the straps. If Larry can win center in the setup, and he can do that if he can make the battle prior to the go about connective tissue. There we go. I don't know, Larry, are you listening to this video? There's a few options here because Khaled is stronger. When we talk about strength, I think Khaled is stronger in the critical areas of the hand and the forearm. I think he is. If you saw that summary video that we watched before, where we looked at Khaled's pulling, he's just got better sets of tools to work with. Larry's bicep might be stronger. Yes, I agree. It probably is, but hand matters more in arm wrestling at the end of the day. And Khaled's hand is amazing, and Larry doesn't necessarily have the experience to be able to make it not about the hand. So Larry needs to go to the arsenal of his elbow. He needs to go to the arsenal of that connective tissue, and he needs to be able to bully center in the setup and go from there. Billy Shoop asked the question, when is the match again? Soon, right? Yes, brother. It is on April 3rd. I think it's about 3.5 days away from right now as we speak. Ladies and gentlemen, I will commentate this one live, so you can join me here. Of course, you're going to need to get the pay-per-view from Core Sports, but you can join me here. I'll commentate the whole thing. There's a whole lot more in addition to Larry and Khaled, but I think that is going to be amazing, so you can join me right here for my commentary. I'll break it down as it's live. Yeah. Dark Hunter says, if Larry doesn't win, I'd be very surprised. Interesting. Now, as I've been talking, you guys have been continuing to vote. We're up to 227 votes. It's still very tight, with 51% of you guys believing that Larry will win. 51%. It's a very 50-50 call. We all feel for Larry in this one. We want Larry to win. We know he just has the desire to win. He's taken a bunch of losses so far. Brandon Allen picked him apart with that King's move. We're not going to see a King's move from Khaled. He does have an ugly open arm that he'll go to where he just relies on his wrist flexion still, but we're not going to see technical King's move defense from Khaled. So if Larry can control the pronator and center of Khaled, he will win. That is the key. Larry just needs to control the pronator, which he can do if he gets the straps with almost certainty. We know that. But the word on the street, as we were saying, ladies and gentlemen, the word on the street is that strap rule is gone. The strap rule is now more reflective of a typical WAF or something like that, where you have to slip legitimately in order to get it. Yeah, good stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to do, we're about 25 minutes in. I think we've covered a fair bit of this. I'm going to turn my attention now to you guys in the comment section, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube or wherever you are watching. I'm seeing all your comments, so let me know. Neil's index finger, he makes an interesting comment. He says table time will translate into endurance. Interesting stuff, the old endurance. When we talk about endurance in arm wrestling, for me, what that often means is it's not actually in terms of fast twitch, slow twitch. It's more to do with who moves more efficiently. Yes, fast twitch, slow twitch, fibers within your muscle does have a factor, but the person who moves more efficiently will usually, and the person who straps more connectively will usually win the endurance battle. And Larry does have that edge with the experience, but Khaled is just so confident that he is just too strong. Nando M says Khaled wins because he just knocked someone out in an MMA match. I haven't seen it, but I've heard it was brutal. Procrastinator says, I thought Larry had a winning record against Khaled way back before Larry even started training seriously. I'm not sure. I believe on the left, Larry used to be dominant. They're back and forth. In the straps on right, I believe Larry is dominant. But outside of the straps, he's very much not dominant. He's very much in trouble. Chris H thinks I'd go 60-40 against Khaled. I think it'll be a tough one, but I think I'll be all right. Let's have a look. What else we got? Larry does have a year's training since they last grouped up from Larry Bastard. And I do agree. That is a point. When we look at the footage of them pulling most recently, we can't say that that's exactly how it's going to go again because, of course, it's a year ago. And Larry's been very dedicated since then. All right, let's keep scrolling through these comments. What do we got? Lone Wolf says, R.I.P. Khaled, clearly in the Larry Wheels camp there. He says it's over, it's done. Can you, here we go. Can you do a slipping masterclass video, Aiden Murray? I think there's something cheekily out there on my YouTube channel where I was teasing Rob Vigent about it. But yeah, slipping is definitely an art. It's not easy to do. If you demonstrate to your opponent that that's what you're trying to do, you will lose. You won't slip, or you'll foul and lose that way, which is the ugliest way of losing in arm wrestling, is to foul whilst trying to slip. No one wants to lose like that. I've done it before, early days. It's horrible. You don't want to do it. Trust me, it's bad. It's just messy. It's bad. It's ugly. You don't want to do it. And Larry is at risk of doing that because if Larry loses round one trying to hold on, and then he's like, oh man, I really need this strap, but he just can't get it, then Larry is in trouble and Larry needs to know how to slip properly. So hopefully he does have that. Of course, Coach Ray is going to be in Dubai. He's going to be commentating over there. So Coach Ray, hopefully Coach Ray gets in the ear of Larry and teaches him how to genuinely put some threat in one area and then slip in another. But a slipping masterclass video might be something that we do in the future. Thank you, Aiden Murray, for the good comment. Chris H wants to know who'd be a tougher match for me out of Larry and Khaled. I would say it's interesting because if I got to straps against Khaled, I think I'd be comfortable, but getting to straps would be harder against Khaled. In straps against Larry would be harder, and I actually think I might struggle to hold on to Larry outside of straps. So I think they're both difficult but doable for very different reasons for myself. But anyway, I will get to Dubai at some point, and I will find that answer out. I will tell you guys exactly. You'll see it as we group up on the practice table, whatnot. What else? We got a good comment here from Ryan Thielen. He says, Khaled is a beast, maybe a higher ceiling, but Larry has the table time on his side. Good point, and I do agree. Khaled is a stronger person. He has a base power. When I say stronger person, please be careful with my words there. Stronger in the critical areas of the hand and wrist, Khaled. So he's a stronger person, but Larry does have the table time. What's this? This question here from Michael. Ryan, your opinion on the best method for superior hand and wrist strengthening now? Obviously, if we're talking arm wrestling, it's arm wrestling as much as you can, and then identifying, which is something that Larry's been doing. Larry has been arm wrestling, feeling it, and this is ultimately the process you got to go through. You got to arm wrestle good arm wrestlers. You got to feel what's going on, and Larry's doing this all the time. And then in your in-between table time, you go to the gym and you work on those recreating those exact little movements that you were struggling with. This is something that Khaled hasn't done. Khaled is just relying on his just God-given strength and hand potential that he's got. Khaled is just ready to roll on up and just crush it. But Larry has been doing these little specific things. He obviously loves the bicep strength as well. The training with Levan Saganishvili and Irakli Zarakishvili has been a big success for Larry. He's really genuinely enjoyed that training, and I think that Larry has probably some of the most effective connected back pressure in arm wrestling. But Larry still hasn't done the work on the superior hand, wrist, supination, pronation, kickback, rise, roll, all that sort of stuff. He's still working on that. So table time with good arm wrestlers, step one, and then recreating the gym through cables and springs and bands and all that sort of stuff. And just never stopping. Consistency, so key. All right. Let's have a look now if there's any more. Guys, there's a whole bunch of people here. We've got 143 people in here. Now, I want to one more time, and I do apologize for those who were in here at the 5-minute mark who saw this video, but I want to roll this video one more time. Oh, damn, I almost missed it. Let me go back here. Marcus Thompson comes in with a 50 euro super chat. You're the man. Marcus Thompson, thank you very much, brother. Killing it. I really do. He says he's off to sleep, but he says, I think Larry this time, it's a must win. Sleep time for Marcus Thompson. Thank you, Marcus Thompson. You're the man. You are slapping down that money big time, brother, and it means a lot to me. Thank you so much for that. Marcus Thompson, I think you're almost right. I'm worried. I got to admit, Marcus, I'm genuinely worried for Larry. We all want Larry to win. We all want Larry to get one on the board. We all want it. We all do. We really do. There's a big part of us all that are worried for him so bad. Now that this auto strap rule's gone, Larry could really significantly be in trouble. But thank you, Marcus Thompson, brother. Really does mean the world to me that you would support this channel so much. So thank you, Larry. Sorry, thank you, Marcus. Not thank you, Larry, but thanks, Larry, later on for the content. Thank you, Marcus, for that 50 euro super chat, man. Enjoy your sleep. We'll see you in the morning, brother, next time you're on the lives. But ladies and gentlemen, all right, what I want to do is I want to show everybody the summary of Khaled's pulling once more, and then we will get back. And I see there's a couple more super chats in here, so I will get to you guys as well. But ladies and gentlemen, enjoy this summary, and then when we get back, let me know what you think about Khaled Jashell and his arm wrestling. All right, so let's have a look at Khaled's track record on the table. You can see here, this is a video compilation from Larry Wheel's channel where we see Khaled in a number of different situations. Now, the early days Khaled, as we see him here, the first time we noticed him as an arm wrestling world was this video here where he was training and pulling with Devin Larratt, and Devin Larratt was immensely impressed. You can see May 28th in 2021 is coming up as well against Schoolboy. Then you'll see some Michael Todd action. There's a whole heap of stuff coming, but you can see Devin Larratt is really impressed. The same day, you can see him having a ready go with Larry, somewhat with Devin in control of the refereeing, and you can just see the hand size of Khaled. You can see the forearm mass that he possesses. Now, despite Larry somewhat getting a pin there with a elbow fell, it doesn't really matter, just showing you his potential. Now, as he wakes up to this sport, you start to see him look particularly dominant against everyone. And we call Khaled a non-arm wrestler. He has immense grip strength, he has an enormous hand, and physically he's quite strong. You see Larry getting his revenge on the left. Interesting pull here against Schoolboy. You can see the hand control from Khaled is just immense. Schoolboy finding it very difficult to slip. Khaled holding onto the thumb. He has all the instinctive correct pressures to transition into a press, to get his shoulder lines set. Very, very sound instincts for someone who isn't actively pursuing this sport. You can see Khaled here once again against Schoolboy. Now, this was somewhat of a casual super match, but nevertheless, it was a match that was won by Khaled. And you can see Schoolboy impressed by the strength there of Khaled. So, looking now against Michael Todd. Now, this was a time where Michael Todd was spending a couple of months in Dubai, so he was working hard, he was training, but nevertheless, have a look at the way Khaled controls the pronator of Michael. Even outside of straps, it's quite difficult for Michael to even slip. I'm sure he can slip, but you can see Khaled doesn't let go. Now, once in the straps, look at the hand control of Khaled. Michael's pronator is contained, Michael's wrist is going back. he's doing to Michael in this training practice what so many arm wrestlers are unable to do. What only people like Gennady Vic has done recently. Khaled very much demonstrating that he has the hand power. And then once again, that transition to press is there if he needs it. Really interesting stuff. And then up against Kyle Hutchinson, who is Britain's 100 kilo plus, I think, champion right and left. And then finally against Levan Saginishvili, obviously biting off a little too much to be able to get anything. You can see the dominance from Levan and the acknowledgement from there. Alrighty, guys, we're back again. I hope you enjoyed that one. Really does show you exactly how much potential Khaled has. If he was to ever take to this sport, he does have immense potential. Immense potential. Now, quickly, I want to address a couple of super chats that came in. We got Kevin Tamkai. He comes in with a $6.99 Canadian super chat. He says there are so many arm wrestling matches, but what happened to the famous Bowen Breakdown series? They were my favorite videos. Kevin, man, thank you very much for the support. The Breakdown series is still there, still alive. We've just got a million different things, a million different plates spinning. When the good matches happen, I'll definitely do the breakdowns post-match and keep them going. But thank you, Kevin Temkai, for the support, man. It means a lot. And big arm wrestling Derek, here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Derek Smith, the world ranked number 12, Derek Smith. If you didn't know who Derek Smith is, ladies and gentlemen, all 162 of you that are in here right now watching this live stream, head on over to Derek Smith's YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. Derek Smith in the super chat, $5. He says, killing the game blue. Hope you're well. Gains steady on this side. Thank you, brother. It means a lot. And yeah, man, gains are going good. I think the gains are going good. I think the sports gains are going good. King of the Table is going good. This match is going good. I wanted to let you guys know the update on the poll. It's 53% of you are saying Larry. What is it going to take for me, ladies and gentlemen? What is it going to take for me to convince you all that Khaled's the favorite? What is it going to take? I don't know. I don't know, because Khaled's a favorite, guys. Khaled's the favorite. He wasn't the favorite when the auto strap rule was on. Now he's the favorite, all right? He's the favorite. I don't know if it's on Armbet, but if it is, and it's out of straps now, if that's confirmed, then Khaled's the favorite. He really is. Thomas Mills says, he must not see you, Derek. I see you, Derek. How can we not see all 6'8" of Derek? Derek Smith from that last super chat. I appreciate it, man. But Hermes says Larry needs more side pressure. An interesting comment from Jared T. Hermes Gasparini, of course, one of the elites that has been out to Dubai and pulled and trained with Larry. He says he needs more side pressure. But, you know, I don't know. The thing is that when you're arm wrestling or training with someone like Hermes Gasparini, if you're just losing your hand and wrist so significantly, which you would be when you're training with Hermes, if that threat from Hermes is so significant, going sideways is near impossible, because every time you go sideways, you lose your base of power connection and you're troublesome. So I would suspect that Larry trying to go sideways is, in fact, just an example of the fact that Hermes Gasparini's hand control, back pressure, pronation combination is just way too good. So I don't think Larry's necessarily lacking the side pressure. He's definitely lacking the elbow connectivity. If we have a look at the way that Larry pins, he drops and pins almost with bicep pressure. He doesn't get up there and pin with supinated pressure. And the supinated style of pinning will come in time as Larry develops more and more conditioning to the sport. All right, let's have a look through more of the comments to see. Gerard T. Okay, here's one. I think Larry would respond really well to Todd's side pressure training because of his powerlifting background. Yeah, I do agree that he would love the theory, that West Side Barbell conjugate method theory, but I'm not sure if he would enjoy the elbow aching conditioning process that is the Todd Hutchins side pressure method. I mean, Todd Hutchins, as you saw, if you guys watched the How to Win an Arm Wrestling video that I posted about a week ago, when Todd Hutchins added his bit to that, he said, get those elbows conditioned as his number one thing. But absolutely, the elbow conditioning will come. I think, like I said, we said it earlier in the video, Larry has more elbow conditioning than Khaled when it comes to experience. So he does have the opportunity to win at center. Will he do it? Jared TG asks, is Khaled actually training for arm wrestling? And the answer is no. Khaled has declared that he doesn't even need to train to beat Larry. He says he's going to 6-0 Larry. He says he's going to do it easy. He doesn't even need to train, doesn't care. He's got everything he needs to do it already, and he's going to. Very strong words in that respect. And Larry will really want to have to prove that point. And like we said, there's so many reasons why Khaled is the favorite because of this no auto strap rule. We need to get Larry to the straps if he's going to win. I doubt he's going to win outside of straps. All right, let's have a look through more. Yeah, Lagi, it is a rule change. Let's have a look. Infinite in ammo. Is it best of 5? Yes, brother, it is best of 5. It will be a best of 5, typical of King of the Table. Infinite ammo after discovering that it is best of 5. He says it's going to be 3-1 to Khaled. They're going to stop it. They're not going to even go to the 5th by the sounds of that one. Let's have a look. What else is going on? All right, interesting observation from John Henkham Gangty. He says, for someone who trains so much in strength, it's surprising that Larry hasn't had much success in arm wrestling. It's very confusing to me. And look, that's awesome. I'm glad you've made that comment there because I can explain a few things to you here. John Henkham Gangty, from your comment, I am guessing, and I'm pretty sure I'm right, that you are either not an arm wrestler or you are very, very new to arm wrestling and you enjoy watching it, but you haven't experienced it. I think that what you're missing is fundamental strength as a human in a isotonic way, which in the way that our joints are meant to go. Larry is absolutely elite. I mean, look at his bicep strength is world elite. His deadlift strength is world elite. His bench press strength, I'm not sure if it's world elite, but it's if it's not world elite, it's elite. Whatever. Everything that Larry touches, he's been immensely elite at. But arm wrestling is different. Arm wrestling, you are asking your body to do things that it's not recognizing as regular things to do. The torque on your arm, the sideways lateral pressure through your elbow, it's very different. The rotation doesn't exist in fundamental strength athletes. They've never had to pronate hard before. So elbows and pronation, despite you might have great things here and there, all that sort of stuff, you're missing that. And then there's also the coordination factor. At the end of the day, this is not a simple sport. It's not a sport where it's just who can lift the object the hardest. Okay, this is not about strength. A lot of people just make the assumption when they're observing arm wrestling for the first time that the bigger guy is going to win. The guy who appears strong is going to win. The guy with a bigger bench press is going to win. Really not the case. And Larry is one of those humans that has enormous bench presses and everything else. But Larry, as I was saying, he needs to develop, first of all, the coordination to move well. Then he needs to establish the conditioning to achieve it. And then he needs to have the right tactics and strategies for the right time to actually execute and make his opponent struggle. So Larry is still in the early phases. He's still in his first 2 years as a professional arm wrestler or someone dedicated to professional arm wrestling. And because of that, it's going to take a while. At the end of the day, it's just going to take a while. But he will get there because he's committed, he's passionate, he loves what he's doing. And his opponent, Khaled Jashell, is quite the opposite. Khaled Jashell is an example of immense genetic strength in all the right areas. Hand control, beautiful. He's got huge forearm mass through there. So his wrist flexion is just massive. We've seen him set world records, pick up objects that he shouldn't be picking up, but he just does. Khaled Jashell is a monster. And he's got everything genetically blessed right there. But he hasn't put the time in. He's very lazy in the respect of arm wrestling. He doesn't really care for it, but Larry's asked him for this match. And so it's going to happen. Now, updating you guys on the poll, man, 54% of you are still saying Larry's going to win. What is it going to take, man? I don't know. Like I said, how can I convince you guys? Khaled's the favorite. He really is the favorite. All right, scroll down. Wake Up says, Ryan, we need to see you in Dubai. Look, I was talking with Core Sports just today. Talking with the man behind Core Sports. And we were laughing at the fact I was actually meant to be there for this card. I was meant to be facing RVJ at this card. But that didn't come through. RVJ, personal reasons, whatever. He had to withdraw. I don't know what his reasons are. I haven't heard from him since, but I've been told, and Core Sports are told, we've pushed it back to King of the Table 4. So I will be in Dubai. I will go to Dubai. I will get there. And at King of the Table 4, where Devin and Levan will pull, I'll be there, hopefully, pulling RVJ. Hopefully RVJ turns up. Anyway, All right, let's have a look. Yeah, relevant question for the Larry Wheels situation from YF. He says, Ryan, I'm a new fan of arm wrestling. Could you please explain why the straps negate the hand and wrist strength of Khaled? Sure, no worries. And this is a big factor for this match. Like we said, Larry Wheels is someone who will do significantly better in the straps against Khaled. Okay, the reason the strap negates the hand and wrist of Khaled, okay, is because when you're outside of straps, arm wrestling, it's significantly difficult to get on arm where the hands are no longer really a factor because the wrist is not being supported by the strap. When you get into a strap, it will support the position you're in. So you can load your pronation up. You can even cheat and get a little bit of cup in as the strap's going on, and then the referee straightens you, and it's actually hard to straighten your wrist because the strap wants to pull you back in. So in other words, the strap can enhance very significantly your ability to protect and keep your hand. Now, because when you try to use your arm, if you try to go sideways as hard as you can against someone like Khaled Jashell, who's got a very big, very strong hand, very just immensely all-consuming hand, when you try to go sideways, what happens is your hand gets twisted off you like that, you lose your wrist and you lose your rotation, and subsequently, you can't go sideways anymore. Or you can, but you just can't go sideways with strength. When you're here, the only sideways thing you've got left is your elbow connectivity. Your elbow will be your weakest link there. And unless you're Todd Hutchins, going here is against Khaled is very, very, very difficult. Larry doesn't have it. But you think about it, if Larry's in the straps and he's back to here and he's back to there, okay, now he's got to go sideways. He can incorporate his bicep, he can incorporate his wrist flexes, and he can incorporate the elbow, he can incorporate the pec because it's secure. It's like horsepower is not too much horsepower is never not a problem. Traction is the real problem. Your hand is like the traction in the motor vehicle. It's what will allow Larry to use the bicep strength he has. And outside of straps, he will be disengaged from all of that by Khaled Jashell, who has the superior hand. In straps, that superior hand gets negated and he gets tied to each other. Khaled can't do what he's been doing all this time, and he gets the victory away. So, brother, hope YF, I thank you for that good question. I hope that answers it for you. And welcome to the sport, brother. Welcome to the sport. All right, let's have a look at what we got going on. $5 Strike says if Khaled doesn't train, he's going to get smoked by Larry. Well, it's too late to train. It's only 3 days to go. He hasn't been training. He's been more interested in his MMA. He's been more interested in his grip strength, all that sort of stuff. Khaled is not interested in arm wrestling. Let's make no mistake about that. He's more interested in becoming an MMA star, and he has huge potential in that. We've seen it. But he is backing his genetic ability. And look, if Khaled was coming up against a seasoned arm wrestler, a seasoned professional arm wrestler, then he would be in big trouble because he wouldn't have the instincts, wouldn't be there. He'd miss the go. He wouldn't understand when his opponent's taking advantages off him in the setup. There'd be a whole heap of things going on that Khaled would miss. But because Larry is still in his first 2 years, Larry isn't particularly developed in that. So there's still a chance that Khaled can just be bad in a technical and execution sense, and yet still be too strong and take the win. But good comment there, $5 Shake, man. Thank you for adding that to the show. Yeah, this is an interesting one. Jared TG says, it's not surprising at all once you actually arm wrestle. Opens up a whole other way of looking at strength. And absolutely it does. It opens up a dramatic thing. The more you know, the more you know you don't know. I'll say it again. The more you know you don't know. Okay, so as you spend more time in the sport, you start to discover things that you once upon a time had no idea even existed as something relevant. And the more time you spend in it, the more you develop, you will realize there's just more layers. There's more complexities. This is not a simple sport. It is a very complex sport. And the longer you're in it, the more you start to see and feel and real. And, I can confidently say that every year that's gone past in the 9 years that I've been in arm wrestling, that has added again and again. And I can reflect back to a year ago and I thought I had it all pretty worked out back then. But look at where I'm at now. There's little intricacies. It's a very winding path. It never stops. People like Devin Larratt still searching. John Brzenk still searching. Believe it or not, John Brzenk still searching on refining technique at this point in his career after being dominant for some 4.5 decades. So yeah, I love the comment, Jared TG. It's not surprising at all. Once you actually arm wrestle, yes, and you feel that it's alive, you're against a human, you're not against another object. It does open up a whole other way of looking at strength. And Larry is in that process of feeling that and becoming that and letting his body absorb that and knowing where to go. But yeah, Jared TG, thank you for the comment, man. Someone said, shout it out loud, Uncle John. Did I miss a comment from Uncle John? Let me just quickly scroll up. Did I miss you, Uncle John? I'm going to scroll up. Uncle John, Uncle John, Uncle John. Do I see anything from Uncle John? I apologize if I missed you, Uncle John. I'm playing with this new streaming thing, which you know all about. I'm not seeing you, Uncle John. Anyway, sorry, Uncle John, if I missed you. I'll make it up to you. All right, what else we got? Yeah. Same sort of point. Lagia says arm wrestling is not a brain dead gym bro activity. It needs long, special strength training and understanding of the combat side of it. 100%, brother. You're on the money. Okay. Okay, here's a question. Let's have a look at this one. Aiden Murray says, based on Larry's previous King of the Table performances, do you think Larry has an ability to adapt and change plans on the table when things aren't going in the lane he wants? That is the concern, isn't it, Aiden? He failed to do that against Brandon Allen. He failed to have the I don't know if he failed to identify the need for a change, but he certainly didn't have the strength and conditioning to execute it and the subsequent finer refinements of knowledge to how to do that. I think he probably understood that he needed to change something, but just didn't know where to go. So I think that against Khaled, when the shape and style of Khaled as an arm wrestler, if Larry's going to lose round one, it's going to be an out of straps. He tried to hook, tried to hold on, and he just got rolled, and his hand was taken off him. So if he feels that, what is he going to understand that he's going to understand the need for straps? Can he get it? I don't know if he's going to be refined, but let's say he doesn't go for straps, let's say refine little movements. Again, like this is something that Larry could do. Like if I've just tried to just bang a hook in on an opponent and they've just been too strong and roll me, okay, there's little tiny subtle pressures that you can throw at your opponent prior to the go that will change the shape and potentially derail that hook that they had, that drag hook, because most people who win round one just simply do the same thing again in round two. And Khaled's going to do that. Khaled gets a victory. He's just going to do the same thing again. He's not going to change anything. He's just going to roll with it. And he's just going to go, I'm going to do that again. That worked wonderfully well. Fantastic. Let's do it again. Now, if Khaled does that, for instance, Larry could just deliberately miss the go. Larry could take a deep grip, a really deep grip. He needs to take an absurdly deep grip. He needs to take a deep grip and actually give away a bit of height in this case. Giving away a bit of height, Khaled will be like, "Oh, this is nice, fantastic. Got some height. I'm just gonna crush you." Give away a bit of height and deliberately delay his initiation into the go, and just for that moment in time, just allow Khaled to drive him to here. Okay, this sounds really weird and counterintuitive, but if you've got a deep grip and your knuckles are up and your opponent's holding on to you, which Khaled will do, let's face it, Khaled's going to hold on. If Khaled holds on, you take a deep grip and you go knuckles up. Khaled goes to drag you and you just use your bicep strength. Okay, even though that's bad, you're going to lose if you stay here. What it's done is it has given you an opportunity to launch an all-out attack to secure a rotation, which is what you couldn't do round one. If you tried to just force rotation, too weak. So deep grip, wrist up, let your opponent drive, takes you to here. And as they take you to here, they meet your bicep strength. When they return to a drag, okay, when they're driving sideways, not the time to start arm wrestling it. You just post hard, knuckles up, let them drive you over to here. And as soon as you feel them start to drag, then you attack with your own supination and set your own hook. And the benefit of waiting that time is that when you set your hook, they're going to have slightly come down. Their pressures are going to slightly come down. And when you set your supinated hook, you are going to be more over their pronation than you were in round one because they didn't see it coming and they've created the space. As they drove hard on you, they've slightly, millimeters maybe, slid down on the arm. They've engaged their position. They haven't got through entirely. They've only just moved you a bit. And then when you launch, you're over their rotation. And for someone like Larry, he needs to get over the pronation of his opponent. If he does that, he'll win. So fantastic question there, Aiden Murray. Thank you for stimulating that thought in my head. It was good. All right, let's have a look at what else is going on. Wake up. No, brother. Unfortunately, I will not be going to Dubai with Larry for King of the Table 3. I was meant to be there, of course, on this card against RVJ. It's not going to happen until King of the Table 4. It has been scheduled. So we'll be there in June, July, whatever it is. King of the Table 4 is when you can expect to see me over there in Dubai. All right. Well, let's have a look. Scrolling down again. All right, a few RVJ questions in there. Look, I don't know. I don't think that RVJ has given up on arm wrestling. I think that RVJ is just, he had something personal going on. He's taken a bit of a hiatus. I wish him well. I hope he comes back and he's ready for a match. But I don't know. I haven't heard from RVJ since he cancelled the match that was meant to be taking place on this card in Dubai. But thank you either way. All right. Yeah, interesting here from Brad Cases. I thought Larry was closely related to Core Sports. Seems weird a rule change would happen so heavily favoring his opponent. Well, it is heavily favoring his opponent, but it just goes in line with the vast majority of the sport. At the vast majority of organizations, you do need to earn your strap. So, yeah, they're just trying to get in line with the fans, maybe. I don't know. The RVJs of the world will be real happy, be dancing around, very happy. But, yeah. All right, let's have a look. All right, so wife, thank you for the comment there about the explanation, man. I'm glad you got that one. It makes sense. Good stuff. All right. Gonna see if I can catch up to you guys, and then I might play a video for you one more time, and then we'll wrap up. We're getting into the hour mark. I can't believe we've been on here an hour, just trying to catch up to all your comments. I just saw the start of this one. Infinite Ammo says, my wife is new to arm wrestling and she even called Larry Wheels weak because he always loses. I had to immediately show her videos of his lifts. He's strong but can't translate it to the table. Yeah, Larry Wheels definitely not weak, but funny stuff. You lose an arm wrestle, that's all they remember. They only remember the last one. I get it all the time. People think that I lose and that's it, despite having like a 90% win record in my super matches. But good stuff. Funny. I love it. Yeah, this guy here is an exception. Yala Shaka says Richard Lupke supposedly didn't do table time, yet he had all that connection and technique to be an elite. Richard's a genetic freak. He's bigger, badder, stronger than all of us. That's why Richard could do that. You can't do that unless you're as big as Richard. All right. A couple of other random questions. Larry Bastard says, what has happened to the PAL top 8? Seemed like matches were never going to happen a year ago. The PAL top 8, as far as I'm aware, they still exist. They still have every intent. It's just been their travel restrictions, all that sort of stuff, trying to find a place to operate, a country to operate. I'm glad they're allowing their athletes to go out and compete. Otherwise, we wouldn't have matches like the Kadetcha and Chafee match. But yeah, good stuff. All right. Richard says Larry's going to lose on elbow fouls. I don't know. that would be sad. I think this one might be sloppy. The refereeing will be interesting. Both these guys, Khaled, very inexperienced in genuine ready goes. Larry, relatively inexperienced, but he should be fine. He'll keep his elbow down, I'm sure. We see here that Larry's going to have the King's move to really bleed him. Says rotated cabbage. I'm not sure about that one, rotated cabbage. I don't know that Larry has that in his game at all as yet. He could be in trouble if he's turned under by the massive hand of Khaled and he goes out into a King's move. That's a recipe, my friend, for a detached bicep, and we do not want to see Larry do that. No, thank you, sir. But anyway, thank you for the comment, rotated cabbage. Jamie Sheldon in the house. He says, F your hand, Toddzilla. There it is, Jamie Sheldon, the natural Jamie Sheldon, one of the best pools in the USA. He says you don't need a hand. You just let it go and just go sideways. I love it. But I don't think we're going to see anyone do that this time. Definitely, these guys are not conditioned to that. But yes, thank you, Jamie Sheldon, for the contribution and the quote from Toddzilla. Good stuff. All right, guys, we're getting close now to the end of the chat. I'm almost down to the bottom. So we've been on here for almost an hour. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, one more time, I will play the video that sums up everything that is Khaled, and I'll give you guys one more chance to vote in this one. I'm still not convinced. You guys have all tried to show me that Larry's the favorite. I don't believe it. I think Khaled's the favorite due to the rule change. I want to see. I'll give you the last chance to be on my side. People don't like to vote with me. Generally, the people like to say that my predictions are wrong. Oh, Jamie Sheldon saying WAL's just popped up with a post. Did you see it? Hang on. Let's have a look live. I'm gonna assume it's on the Instagram. Let's have a look. Let's see what WAL have posted. WAL World Arm Wrestling League. Oh, what have they said? 1 hour ago, WAL will have Craig Tuya and Mike Fontenot in the WAL at BWW Wings activation area at the Fan Fest for NCAA Final Fours in New Orleans. Very good. There you go. WAL resurfacing. Thank you, Jamie, for that. It looks like it's a PR thing. All right. Okay, guys. So one thing before we go on, as I said, I'm going to play this video for you one more time because I know there's a bunch of you here that have come and gone and all sort of stuff, and you guys haven't seen it yet. We're here in an hour. I'm going to get every single one of you, 148 of you, to hit the like button for me and the share button for me after this one. Make sure, most importantly, that you subscribe. If you're not already subscribed, please do so. I will be commentating live for the King of the Table 3. So make sure you get your Core Sports pay-per-view open up in one window. You get this channel open up in the other window. I'm going to be commentating the whole event. I can't wait for it. So I really appreciate that. But for everyone who hasn't seen the summary of Khaled's arm wrestling, I'm going to play that one more time before we go. And I still read your comments while we're watching it, all this sort of stuff. So feel free to say whatever you want, add your last piece to the puzzle. But after this video, we'll wrap it up and call it a day. But ladies and gentlemen, one more time, here it is, the Khaled summary of his arm wrestling. All right, so let's have a look at Khaled's track record on the table. You can see here, this is a video compilation from Larry Wheel's channel where we see Khaled in a number of different situations. Now, the early days Khaled, as we see him here, the first time we noticed him as an arm wrestling world was this video here where he was training and pulling with Devin Larratt, and Devin Larratt was immensely impressed. You can see May 28th in 2021 is coming up as well against Schoolboy. Then you'll see some Michael Todd action. There's a whole heap of stuff coming, but you can see Devin Larratt is really impressed. The same day, you can see him having a ready go with Larry, somewhat with Devin in control of the refereeing, and you can just see the hand size of Khaled. You can see the forearm mass that he possesses. Now, despite Larry somewhat getting a pin there with a Zorba it doesn't really matter, just showing you his potential. Now, as he wakes up to this sport, you start to see him look particularly dominant against everyone. And we call Khaled a non-arm wrestler. He has immense grip strength, he has an enormous hand, and physically he's quite strong. You see Larry getting his revenge on left. Interesting pull here against Schoolboy. You can see the hand control from Khaled is just immense. Schoolboy finding it very difficult to slip. Khaled holding onto the thumb. He has all the instinctive, correct pressures to transition into a press, to get his shoulder lines set. Very, very sound instincts for someone who isn't actively pursuing this sport. You can see Khaled here once again against Schoolboy. Now, this was somewhat of a casual super match, but nevertheless, it was a match that was won by Khaled. And you can see Schoolboy impressed by the strength there of Khaled. So, looking now against Michael Todd. Now, this was a time where Michael Todd was spending a couple of months in Dubai, so he was working hard, he was training, but nevertheless, have a look at the way Khaled controls the pronator of Michael. Even outside of straps, it's quite difficult for Michael to even slip. I'm sure he can slip, but you can see Khaled doesn't let go. Now, once in the straps, look at the hand control of Khaled. Michael's pronator is contained. Michael's wrist is going back. He's doing to Michael in this training practice what so many arm wrestlers are unable to do. What only people like Gennady Vic Vinia has done recently. Khaled very much demonstrating that he has the hand power. And then once again, that transition to press is there if he needs it. Really interesting stuff. And then up against Kyle Hutchinson, who is Britain's 100 kilo plus, I think, champion right and left. And then finally against Levan Saganishvili, obviously biting off a little too much to be able to get anything. You can see the dominance from Levan and the acknowledgement from there. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, as you see in the comment below, thank you, legends, for all joining me on this live stream today. Please hit that like and subscribe button for me, and I'll see you all for the live stream commentary at King of the Table 3. It is, of course, happening all live on the Core Sports pay-per-view website. Make sure you go check them out at coresports.com. April 3rd, do not miss it. I can't wait. So many more on the card as well. But ladies and gentlemen, hope you have a fantastic afternoon. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys